Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Today we will discuss about why some people can portray other people's culture as shitty in the name of entertainment. Nothing to look into it. I'm talking about Hollywood. It came to my attention a new movie called Lavender Man, and it is about Abraham Lincoln sex life. And Abraham Lincoln, as you know, he was one of the US presidents, admired by some, hated by others, but he was the Americans' president. And this movie that just came out tried to play on an alleged homosexual affair of the President of the United States of America. I don't know why, I know why, but I don't know why the Americans would be interested in, disclosing this kind of important facts about a president. Actually, the sexual orientation is unimportant in a president, right? Nevertheless, I will discuss this, and I will discuss the Snow White, the latest garbage movie they make for our consumption. They're actually taking a shit on us, on our culture, our literature, our myths, our values. I'm also going to discuss Robin Hood, where we have Little John, played by Jamie Foxx. And I will just compare and contrast the same situation if, let's say, we would have a midget Chinese, oh my God, I was about to say it, homosexual Martin Luther King, for instance, or let's say a baboon-looking Moses, just to, it's just for entertainment. I don't think that would be possible as of now. So, let's start setting the foundation of the conversation, the rules, and that is justice. I know that one of my favorite classes when I attended college in the United States of America was political philosophy, and the professor's name was Arthur Meltzer, one of my favorite professors I ever had in my life, or teachers. And here is the hero, Arthur M. Meltzer. He is one of the three professors or teachers that I ever admired in my life, three of them, and he's one of them at Michigan State University. So in the first hour, he asked this question: what is justice? Write on the paper, how do you define justice? And my definition was reciprocity. That is, as they say here, I think is the golden rule or something for the Christians. Don't do unto others what you don't want to be done unto you, or something like this. And I think it's fair. It's only just, if reciprocity. If the rule applies to you, should apply to me in the same way. And nevertheless, so if we have a Hollywood owned by a certain group, portrays our president, the United States of America's president, our president, as a, how should I put him, pervert, then it's only fair, even if he was a pervert, to portray other people who were also perverts as perverts. It's only just. But no, this is a constant attack on our values, our idols, our myths, our history, our traditions. And I will show you. And I will, as I said, I will contrast and discuss these values of ours with their values. So, this is what triggered me. I wanted to make this kind of video for a long time. Abraham Lincoln's sex life, reimagined in Lavender Man, like we care. And you understand what this is, correct? Not hard. And it says here that, let me go back here, where it says that the project focuses on a theatrical stage manager Tefeta Mason, who is feeling demoralized while working on a play about Lincoln and ends up in an elaborate daydream about the 16th president's supposed homosexual love affair that has been foddered for speculation. Why would I be interested in that? Might be a segment of the population who is interested in this kind of deviant behavior. What's the deviant behavior? The deviant behavior, that by definition, is outside of the norm. A norm is, how you want to look in the animal reign, it's, heterosexuality. What's outside of that, it's out of the norm. I mean, that's a basic stuff. It's not, I'm not bashing anybody. It's just reality. If I say that human beings are not bipeds, but are tripads, if you have a person having quadrupeds, walking on all four limbs, that's an anomaly. It's not normal. It's not. There are some people, but the norm is obviously biped. Okay, so that's the first one. I'm going to give you another example, which is the 2025 film Snow White. And we have a Jewish actress. Yes, she is from the Israeli military. You can't believe that. And we have the actress. And right here, this is the Snow White. Now, for me, Snow White was obviously this right here. And that was our Snow White. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Or you can have a fairest. And we have this, I don't know exactly what it is. I can also go to the mermaid. The mermaid nowadays, again, it was with obviously a certain kind of person with a certain kind of hair. Nowadays it's a little bit different. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to go to the right here, because I make a claim, and the claim is based on truth. So cast Rachel Zegler, okay, and this is right there, which is Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot is an Israeli actress, and I think she was really in the defense. Right there, was born in Petah Tikva, where she needs to live. She is born in Jewish parents, Czech and Polish. That's where she came from, and so I think she was also in the military, if I remember correctly. But it doesn't really matter. So we have these people portraying Snow White. Then we have a homosexual, what's his name? Lincoln. And then we have Robin Hood 2018. This angered me a lot. Why? Because we have here this guy right here, Jamie Foxx, who said he's done with white women, right there. If a white man would say that about black women, he would be. This is justice. Remember, justice is reciprocity. If I can portray, let's say, Martin Luther King in reality as a violent womanizer sleeping with prostitutes, fact, beating them up, cheating on his wife while he was a minister, well, I would like to see a lot of movies like that. And I would like to see Martin Luther King played by a midget Chinese homosexual. What was wrong with that? Why would it be wrong if we have Little John from our Robin Hood played by Jamie Foxx? We have these people playing our Snow White, and we have the need to portray this guy as such. Even if true, why would I want to take that route? All right? Why would I want to take that route? Now imagine Moses, who was obviously at the order of Yahweh. That's not a false statement. It's reality. You read their Bible, the Old Testament, and you're going to find out Moses exterminating the Canaanites, the Amorites, and keeping the virgins at the order of the beautiful God that loves everyone. That's a fact. Now let's say you will portray Moses as like Jamie Foxx. I guarantee you that will not fly in Hollywood, because Hollywood is not our Hollywood. Somehow is their Hollywood. My point is this. Why would someone like to take a shit on our culture? Why would someone, and they can, people go and see and they will find justification for that. They will say, it's only entertainment. Okay. If it's only entertainment, I would like to see portrayed the other guys, their guys, as such. I would laugh, I would attend that, I think it would be a good parody. But no, you won't see that. Why? Because it's an attack on one group, in the group's country. That's the problem. These aliens, inside of a certain location, they take a shit on our culture, our traditions, our symbols, our... Look how many people. Alexander the Great, oh my God, he was bad. Why? Do you know what he did? He burned Persepolis. Or Persepolis. Oh my God, the Persians. Isn't he? Because he was a drunk and he was having a homosexual affair. Well, that's not good, is it? Why? Why did he burn Persepolis? Do you know why? I guarantee you don't know. I tell you why. Because the Persians burned Athens a few years back. So he just said, oh, if it's okay for you, then let me show you how it's done. Well, don't do unto others as you, right? But don't blame only that guy, blame the other ones as well. So there's many examples in our histories when these guys are picking certain portions of something that we might have not done right. But why would we want to expose the garbage that was, like anywhere else in other societies, other cultures? Why would we want to make fun of it? Who would have an interest of degrading all of our symbols? John F. Kennedy was a womanizer. Okay, we all know that. The Romans used to drink pee for their teeth, ammonia and so on. The Romans used to use that little sponge, each other wiping their asses on the common whatever latrines. But they built roads, they built aqueducts, they built something that those guys never even dreamt about, herding their goats around the desert, illiterate guys. But they take a shit on our history. You know about the Romans, you know about the Greeks, what they did, how they loved one another, the men's, the symposiums. They overemphasize things that are perversions or things that people have done wrong. They don't focus on their value anymore. It's like destroying, it's called deconstruction theory. I would like you to look and find out who were in charge of the deconstruction theory. Sociological theory from I think it came from didn't come from the certain kind of school from Germany. Exactly. You want to find out who are the guys in charge of that? Go ahead. You're gonna find Habermas. You're gonna find other guys involved in that, my friends. It's called Frankfurt School. Why do we allow others to take a shit on our culture? And if it's just fine and I'm just blowing it out of proportion, I want to see their guys. Ben-Hur as a baboon, let's say. Moses as a criminal as he was. Martin Luther King as a womanizer, beating and having orgies, beating prostitutes and cheating on his wife. And he was a reverend, so it's even worse. And so on. I can give you a lot of examples. But we're not supposed to talk about that. The movies rarely touch on that. And I'm going to pick on, Martin Luther King or Moses or even Gandhi or even, what's his name, from South Africa. What was his name? Mandela. These were not saints, but we're supposed to venerate for their qualities. And yes, they had some qualities. They had some garbage, but let the garbage go. No. In our culture, we have to take a shit on our leaders, but on their leaders, we have to venerate them. What should we do? I think we should speak honestly about it as much as we are allowed and call the things as they are. And the people who would defend the, defacers of our culture, they should be called as traitors of our culture. We all had problems. We all have in our lives something that we're not proud of. Is that what defines us? If you want to just focus on that, we're all sinners, we're all garbage. The problem is there's some unjust group who portrays our values as perverts, but their values are saints, or whatever values they want to push on our society. And that's not just. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.